put that in the video, don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, or wherever the heck you guys are watching, whatever time you guys are watching. I would like to welcome you to our first video blog. Woo! We have a bit of a guest today. Here's Adam. He races with me, and he does a lot of figure eights.
A lot.
Yeah, I'd say. Today's topic is going to be figure eights or derbies. Derbies is obviously, you know, the full contact, let's wreck everything that moves, and the figure eight is more or less a race. Myself, I've done both. I've done figure eights, I've done derbies. I prefer derbies. I like smashing stuff, I like wrecking stuff. Try not to swear in this thing either.
Yeah, I noticed.
It was really hard.
Thinking of it.
It is really difficult. I like to go out there and I like to smash stuff up. I like to wreck stuff. I like to destroy stuff. And then the last couple figure eights that I actually did, I just went out there and I hit everything that I could. So, I mean, I didn't really go out there to win. I just went out there because the car we built the day of, and you're allowed to leave your batteries and your gas tanks and everything in. So we just quickly gutted the interior and the windows out of it and stuff, and went out there and had some fun. I don't really know where to start.
Do I?
I mean, I kind of started it.
For myself, I prefer figure eights because there's an actual objective to it.
There's not an objective to derby in?
No, not really. No, there's a separate objective to it. But also for me starting out too, I only really started last year. I did a whole bunch of the fall fair around our surrounding area. I was actually scared to get into derbying because I've kind of heard some horror stories about people getting hurt. But
well, word on the street is you've been in a couple derbies yourself.
Yeah, a couple of them personally with my personal car. What? I just I prefer racing. I like going fast. I don't really have necessarily have an actual reason why, other than there's a different objective to just smashing and completely destroying everything.
You like more or less.
You build one car and then it lasts you the whole kind of season, depending on how hard you go out. So.
Yeah, and then that's definitely a point to bring up is with figure eights, you can normally build a car and it will last you the entirety of a season almost.
And the car lasted me the whole time, and then one of our buddies had a Tercel and it didn't go very well for him the day of the derby as we were going there. So I felt bad for him, and it was the last derby of the season for me anyway. And I let him derby it at our hometown. So
the car was definitely, it was going to get destroyed in that no matter. And then if I remember right, you wanted to, well, not really wanted to run it in the derby, but you were kind of like...
I would, yeah. I would have, but I kind of felt bad for our friend. So being a nice guy that I am, I let him finish it off for me.
Yeah, and boy, did he ever finish it off.
Oh my god. What was he like, third out or something?
He got third, and he kind of, he went out there very smart. He hit hard, but he didn't go out there with the objective in his head to finish everything off, which is a topic, actually, that I want to bring up in the next couple blogs, is your driving style. But he went out there, and he went to the sidewalls, kind of watched where everyone was, threw it in reverse and put his foot to the floor, and then he went for, you know, the axle shots, the front end shots.
He's smart about it.
Yeah, he was very smart.
It wasn't his first derby.
He's built a ton of cars. So Adam definitely just brought up a couple points of figure eight racing and why it is beneficial. Like you said, you could build one car at the beginning of the season. Another point that I can bring up is it's not very hard on your body. You do get kind of banged around a little bit and you get pushed and shoved, but it's definitely not like lining someone up with your trunk.
And especially too with the Sunfires and Cavaliers, that's all I've ever ran. I had a Sunfire last year, Cavalier. Sunfire, and those seats aren't comfortable at all, whether you drive it daily driver or derby it. I find there's a metal bar in the back that's not cushioned very well at all.
I can attest to that.
I was going out and just trying to have fun. I wasn't actually trying to win. Like, in my mind I was, but I'm new, so.
That's definitely the main goal of the sport, is just to go out and have fun. So
that was when you least expect it.
Oh. Dennis just showed up.
That's the menace.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Hey, no swearing.
Oh, pepperette.
Pepperettes, they're all beef.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
There you go, pound those bitches in here.
If you haven't got pepperettes, you shouldn't have beer.
You got to tell the camera your opinion. That's what a vlog's all about. The topic for today, for our vlog, is figure eight versus demolition derby.
So, pussy races versus real race.
We'll just edit that out.
Sit on fucking... Throw your beef sausage in there.
Well, hey, would you like me to crunch down? Little rabbit ears?
Okay, so where were we?
I believe we were talking about figure eights against derbies.
That's a good observation.
So, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, before you showed up, Adam and I were kind of talking and saying as the good benefits about running a figure eight is you can build a car pretty much from the start, and you can run that whole car throughout the entire year. You can even get even 2, possibly 3 years out of it. And the other thing that I was bringing up, it's not so hard on your body. You can take a lot more abuse. Well, not take a lot more abuse.
Yeah, but
sorry.
I disagree with that because I've seen you run figure eights and I've seen you take a car on the cross and put them right into the wall.
Yeah. that was it for his car, and it was the same one that I was just talking to you guys about that we just gutted pretty much the day of.
Because that's when you were driving the Cavalier and we never unhooked the computer, and when you were done the figure eight, when you were driving out of the ring, the computer was flopping around and flying around.
That was the same car. I never unhooked the airbag sensors either.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
the passenger airbag went boom. And then he was coming around the blocks, and his passenger door is facing me, and then I was coming through the middle. And I don't know what the hell was in that little Cavalier. It was like the two. There was the fast motor in it anyway. 2.4, I think.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
quick anyway,
Yeah.
and I held it right to the boards, and instead of me starting to turn around, I figured, you know what, I could plow into him and then possibly even turn myself around. So I mean, I pounded him in the passenger door and actually pushed his whole car up onto the blocks, and he was stuck on the blocks. I backed away, threw it in
Yeah.
drive, and then just kept going.
I followed your rear end around a few times, around a few tracks, and I got no complaints.
Yeah, it's the best rear end you've ever seen. So then we have the point of, and I'm probably going to be repeating this about 200 times by the time this video is done, but with figure eights, you can build a car to last a lot more than just one run. It's not so hard on your body unless you're in the same ring with me. And what's point number 3 of figure eights versus derbies?
It does cost you a lot of money, and 1 car per derby.
Yeah.
It does.
No matter how much
It
it adds up.
gets fairly costly.
It adds
Yeah.
up.
Because with
Yeah.
the figure eights, you're buying one car, and then you're putting a
Fixing whatever, and then
if it's a car like we built for Adam, it was just gut and go and just kind of throw your tank. And well, we did the tank in it because we actually got the car from a scrapyard, and they already processed the whole car, so they already drained all the oil and cut the tank. So when we got it, we just kind of went on a little bit of a limb, and we just kind of said, all right, well, hopefully this car even runs.
How many derby cars have you turned around and not been able to run in derbies? You've turned around and turned it into a figure eight car.
I remember I built a car, like an actual figure eight car, and it did last me a while. It was an old '94 Cavalier, but yeah.
Yeah, but how many cars have we built over the last 8 to 10 years? After it's done in a derby, you can still run in the figure eight.
very many the past couple of years.
No, yeah, the last couple of
Not
years.
the last couple of years, no, but prior to that,
Maybe.
I think the most I think I've ever seen you get a car out of a derby is 3 derbies.
Yeah.
But after the first or second, when you know that it'll no longer do you any good in derby, it's still good enough to run the figure eights. Because especially with the back end all pushed in, it's not as much on the crisscross for the person to catch you.
We actually cut the trunk off of the Sunfire, and it was meant to be built as a figure eight car. So we actually cut the whole trunk in hopes that it would provide less of something that someone can come in and hit you and spin you out, right? But I mean, geez, we only took that to one. Well, Katie ran that actually. Katie ran that in the Milton figure eight,
Yeah.
and we only
Yeah.
got one race out of it. And then we built it as a mini smash car. So, and he actually got, I think it was 4th place in the feature, if I'm not mistaken, for a bone stock Sunfire with no trunk.
Really?
And all that we did was just run a bar going from the top of the roof down to the speaker tray there, and that was the only protection he had. And then we put a bar in between the 2 back wheels. So I mean, pretty much if it was hitting with his back end, it was hitting with the back wheels.
Yeah.
And the bar kind of helped the back wheels from separating, because that's one of the common things on like a Cavalier and a Sunfire is the back wheels to kind of kink out. So if you put a bar in there, it kind of stops it. But is there anything you guys want to add to figure eights?
Figure eight on the crisscross, you see it all the time. Guys hitting their brakes, kind of doing a little swerve to the left or the right because they really don't want to hit the other person, or they don't want to get hit because they want to take first place.
And in the defense, I mean, whatever you want to do, if you want to do figure eight, if you want to do derby, there's a strategy to both. And
Yeah.
it takes a very big strategy to do figure eight. It takes a very big strategy to do derby as well. So I mean, you know, whatever you decide to run, I mean, I have full respect for you. I've ran both ends of it, and I can definitely say, I mean, figure eight is not as easy as you think it would be.
Some places do more than 10 laps, and I did one that was 15. I mean, I didn't finish first or nothing, but I got 13 laps, and I couldn't even turn the wheel anymore.
Bottom line is, as long as you go out and have fun, and you enjoy building it, and you enjoy building the car with the people that you're building it with, that's all that matters.
Well said.
I've been helping Devin build cars, like I said, for off and on for what, 10 to 12 years now.
I think that for me, the most enjoyable part about the derby scene is actually building it, and you know, having.
Well, I will say this, building it and then being at the derby in the pits with everybody and just a camaraderie. Everybody will help everybody. If there's different heats, when the heat's over, you'll have your competitors that you were just going head to head with come out and help you to make sure that you move on and you're able to move on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we'll move this a bit forward now, and we'll kind of outweigh some of the benefits to derby as opposed to figure eight, if we can even really decide on it. I mean, you know, figure eight has, as far as the building time involved, you know, figure eight definitely outweighs the
Cost. Figure
Cost.
eight, you're going to get the most bang for your buck out of putting your time, effort, and money into a car. You'll get more races out of doing figure eight than you would derbies.
Yeah, you're not going to get your body beat up as much. For me, going into a derby, I like smashing stuff. I like seeing stuff bend. I like causing carnage. And you can attest to that, definitely. Figure eights for me, it's not as enjoyable as going in there and just smashing up a car. You know, it takes a certain amount of skill to do either. And I've always found myself to be more strategic in doing a derby versus doing figure eights. Demolition Derby does take a strategy as well, doing mini smash and all that. You know, you have to keep your eye on everyone at once inside of the ring. So, you know, you could be in with 10 different guys, but you have to keep your eye on every single one and say, you know what, if I go and ring shot this guy at the other end of the ring, what's this guy over here in the blue car going to do? What's that guy over behind me in the red car going to do? Like, you know, if I go and ring shot him, am I going to get pounded with, you know, 3 cars if I go backwards, right?
Wait a minute. So you don't call that sandbagging, you call that being a strategic driver.
Yes, I do call that. Okay?
Sandbagger, dingy.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Whatever.
Trophies are up
And
there. Yeah, right there too.
I don't know how many years he's been running.
All derbies.
Yep. All behind us, above our head, is not even half
Actually,
of the
down
trophies
below, too.
that Devin has won. Devin learned how to drive and have fun in derbies from his grandfather. We got to send it out to Harry Cook, teaching Devin how to friggin' run and build them and enjoy himself.
And we've definitely had our fair share of last minute builds.
That's right.
Hashtag last minute motorsports.
Yep.
That's
Instagram.
right.
Instagram that. We're on
Yeah.
it.
Oh, we're
That's
all
right.
over there. Well, see, if you were more technical savvy or whatever you want to call it, I'm actually doing the car behind us right now, the Sunfire.
Yep.
If you guys
That's
haven't
right.
seen it yet, I'm doing a full build
Yeah.
series on it. I started with pulling the car into the shop, and I started making videos like about every single aspect of doing this car, whether it's stripping, whether, you know, anything that I do to this car, I've been filming.
I hope Devin turns around and we do this YouTube for actually starting a car 12 to 24 hours before a derby, start to finish.
You'd like to do a time lapse.
Yeah,
And Adam and I were-
I'd really like to do a time lapse.
Strip
Strip it,
it.
gut it, prep it,
yeah.
and put it in a derby.
And this is part of the back scenes, is, you know, everyone sitting down and drinking pop. I'm pretty sure that everyone's kind of seen a little bit of a decline in this video. We kind of paused it there for about an hour or so and just kind of sat around. And,
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay, so before we completely lose focus here, anything else that you guys want to add to derbies versus figure eights?
Bottom line, figure eights, you're going to get more bang for your buck investing the time in the car. The derbies, pretty much, well, if you're running it and you're running it hard, a car per derby. And do the basics, because you don't need to go all out welding every door, every
We got the money and
fender,
the time,
every
why not?
trunk. Use a pitchfork, punch your holes in the friggin' trunk of the doors. Fine.
Fork. Not even a drill.
not even a sledgehammer,
No drills.
just a
nothing.
pitchfork.
That's it. A pitchfork. That's it. Good enough. It makes the hole.
Pickaxe.
Oh,
is what
sorry,
you're
a
thinking.
pickaxe. Yes, my
No,
apologies.
pitchfork.
Because
Pitchfork
you don't
is
want
good, too.
4 holes, you want 1. That little devil in me come out there.
All right, so I guess that pretty much sums everything up then. If you want to build a car that is going to last you a while, then do figure eights. If you don't want to be so hard on yourself, do figure eights. But if you just want to stop acting like a little bitch and get into a car and get up to the plate, then do a derby.
That's right.
But then again, everything is all in personal preference, so.
That's it. Are they able to contact you through this?
Say Twitter.
Yeah.
Because, hey,
I mean, I'm
hey,
not really.
I'll be more than happy to go with you and help somebody that needs a friggin' car built.
Yeah.
And show them the pointers actually hands-on, providing you're not 500 miles away from us.
If you're 500 miles away from us, you provide the fuel and the beer, and we will be there.
Oh,
100%.
definitely.
So that concludes today's video from Dennis, Adam, and myself. Don't forget, guys, like, comment, subscribe.
There you go.
Just for you, YouTube.
Just for that. Thumbs up just for that right now.
That's it.
Twice.
Okay, let's get her done.
Till next time, guys.
Derby
Derby
on.
on.